We've got eggs.
It's been a really slow start to the season, but we're finally pulling our first clutch of eggs for 2025. The pairing on this was Heimdall, our clown head ultramale, to Var, a spot nose head ultramale. We had actually started pairing them back in November of 2024, right before we got our visual clown ultramale male. So the odds on this one aren't great, but we're going to keep our fingers crossed regardless. Once we pulled her off the eggs, we saw that she had laid 6 good eggs and 1 slug. We were a little bit worried about her afterwards, though, because when I felt her, she did not feel empty to me. There was a little bit of swelling still in her body. We ended up contacting one of our friends with an ultrasound machine, checked it out. It was just swelling. It went down by the end of the day, but you can see me here on the video kind of worrying about it. We are looking to pick up our own ultrasound machine in the future, and to be honest, this little scare probably expedited that process for us. We're just really happy that she didn't end up being egg-bound, just a little bit of swelling that went down right away, and she even went right back on food that same night when we offered. After we got her off the eggs, we gave her a bath and a little bit of spa time before we moved her into a clean tub. We always move them into a brand new tub after they lay, so that they don't have that smell of eggs on them at all. I always hate seeing slugs when I open up the tubs, but at the end of the day, it's just part of it, so it is what it is. The last step of the process is candling the eggs and making sure they're facing up in the container. I always mark the tops of them so we know which way is up with the eggs. Since we are a small family business, obviously everyone gets to play a part. Little man is currently working on learning how to read, so we did an ABC clutch, writing letters of the alphabet on the tops of all the eggs instead of just X's. I know a lot of people will leave eggs stuck together when they pull them out like this. I choose to separate them. It's just the way I've always done it. I'm not saying one way is better than the other. This is just what has always worked for me, so I stick with what I know. Some people have asked if we ever let the mother self-incubate the eggs, and the answer for us is no, and currently, we don't intend on trying that with any of our females. By incubating the eggs, we have a better success rate with hatching, and also it allows the mothers to go on food faster. If we leave the eggs with the mom, she'll continue to stay off food until they hatch and continue to lose weight throughout that process. It usually results in a pretty significant weight drop for the female just laying eggs, so we want to make sure that we're keeping them as healthy as possible. The eggs are going into a tub with vermiculite and a tray on top of it. Tom's just adding some zip ties in there to work as spacers to keep them from rolling at all when they're in the tray. I know a lot of people will incubate with the trays directly in the vermiculite. I don't think there's any kind of issue with that. That is just one of those old habits die hard things again. I like having the trays on top. It helps keep my mind at ease, so I continue doing what I'm doing. Little Man was actually strangely upset about the slug in this clutch. It turns out he hadn't been there when we had pulled one before, so he was really confused why we weren't incubating it with the other eggs. We ended up candling it for him and letting him ride on it, and then he disposed of it himself. Even though the odds aren't great on this clutch, we are keeping our fingers crossed to hit a spot nose ultramale het clown female to go into our future lineup. We have quite a few ultramale clowns and ultramale kryptons in our collection at this point, but we're trying to add in more of the incomplete dominance to really level up the project on our end. Of course, with the het-to-het pairing, the odds are not in our favor this year, so we are going to be getting this female back on food, getting her taken care of, and next time that she's ready for breeding, that might be next year or the year after, we'll pair her in with one of our visual ultramale clowns. We do have another female set to lay technically today, but she hasn't laid yet, so probably in the next few days. So I'll keep you updated on that clutch once we pull those. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps our channel out.